The Chairman and Managing Director of Motilal Oswal Financial Services, Mr. Motilal Oswal, joins us. Morning, Mr. Oswal. Thank you for joining us. Day 2, and are you a bit surprised with the institutional interest? I've been told that there is a full house there, and over 250 foreign institutional investors are attending this conference.
Yeah, I think we are surprised that even when the market sentiment is so good, the participation here is excellent. I think there is no correlation between the mood which is being seen here versus what we are seeing in the market. So from the response perspective, from the participation perspective, both from the corporates as well as investors, I think I would say it's far beyond our kind of expectations. And we are very happy to see many big CEOs coming and talking and showing that kind of confidence and conviction in the India story.
Mr. Oswal, you had a couple of big names present there, both from auto and IT, which really have been punished by the market. You had Infosys and Tata Motors as representatives as well. What is it that you're picking up in terms of the sectoral sentiment? Are we bound to see some rebound with companies which are correlated to how the West actually performs, both in terms of exports when it comes to autos and client spends when it comes to IT?
If you look at auto companies, I think MD of both Bajaj Auto as well as Telco were there yesterday, and I think listening to them, it was quite surprising that the mood is a bit there, although they feel that high interest rate is really a concern in short term. But from the company's perspective, from medium to long term, both in passenger cars as well as two-wheelers, I think great things are happening, and the mood from those perspective is slightly cautious, but they feel that the short-term kind of, I think, speed breakers are there in the market, in the kind of performance. But everybody is seeing from medium to long-term very positive kind of signals from the market. Coming back to IT, yes, I think what Chris Gopalakrishnan said, that they don't see any kind of short-term kind of, I think, pessimism here, because the markets are doing well, and most of the speakers said that corporates are better prepared than what they had in 2008. So corporate balance sheets are quite healthy, I think, and the gloomy picture which is seen in the market is at least not being seen in the corporate circle when we talk to them.
Motilal, could you outline the profile of institutional investors who are attending this conference? Are these long-only funds? Are these hedge funds? Or are these the only insurance companies?
Nikunj, we have all kind of participations from domestic to international. There are a huge number of people coming, even from FIs from abroad. So you can see the mix of all kind of investors, mutual funds, AMCs, insurance companies, FIs, long only, FIs, hedge funds. So it's a quite kind of mixed from that perspective.
And what is the feeler you're getting from some of your clients? Do they want to buy stocks at current levels, or they're waiting for a decline, and institutional investors will only put their money to work on a 10 or on a 15% decline?
See, if you look at long only funds or insurance companies, I think they are putting small money here. Everybody is waiting and watching for the slightly kind of positive indication from the policy makers as well as from the global markets. So once we see the stability in the market, I would say that a lot of money is waiting in the sidelines to come here.
You have a lot of unlisted names as well attending the conference. Any of them which are seeking a listing in a market like this, or perhaps towards the close of the calendar year?
I have not seen from that perspective who is going to be listed, but wherever we saw the interest from the investors, we could really bring some of the companies and showcase them how they are doing it, so that people can know what's happening on the ground level, and people have choice in terms of the sectors as well as in the companies. Right,
Mr. Oswal, 3 years ago, all the investor interest was flocking in and around infra companies. Where or which companies currently are attracting the highest amount of institutional interest?
See, infra companies, they are not well in the market, but I think the investors are still invested in many of the companies. So people are just trying to really, do some kind of crystal ball gazing that is there anything wrong at the corporate level, or it is just a sentiment. I think some of the companies have still been able to show some kind of interest from the market participants. So infra as a whole, I think you can divide in two parts. One is the companies who are really doing well, who are really not geared too much, and the companies who have some kind of gearing. Those companies are being punished by the market because of high level of gearing. I see that infrastructure definitely is overall a beaten kind of sector, but there is an interest, and I think people would look at the companies where they see the conviction, confidence, the healthy balance sheet, and the business model. So my feel is that from these levels, I could see some kind of bottoming out process from the companies where I think fundamentals remain still better.
So identify some stock ideas for our viewers. I'll identify the time frame for next 12 months, and then you pick and choose the stocks.
See, we heard, I think some of the companies like ICICI Bank, Chanda Kochar, I think she was quite optimistic on the medium to long term scenarios. I think there may be cloud, in her words, there may be cloud in the short term, but I think medium to long term remain exciting for a place like ICICI Bank, or from that perspective, some of the auto companies, or we have now telecom companies today, Bharti is coming here. So I would say that it has to be a pick and choose kind of approach rather than a sectoralist kind of approach in the market. So I would see, I think Bajaj Auto or Hero Honda or even Bharti or even ICICI Bank or for that matter, I think some of the PSU banks. So I think it is the right time to accumulate some of the great managements and some of the great companies who have delivered something in the past, and there is a complete kind of integrity from those kind of managements.
Right. Motilal, I'll ask you a trick question. Which has a better management, Hero Honda Motocorp or Bharti?
It's very difficult to somewhere compare apples versus oranges, but both the managements have their own strengths and weaknesses. I think in the time, good time as well as bad time, both the managements have, I would say, have been outstanding, and at least personally, we have been investing in both the companies.
Mr. Oswal, what are your thoughts on large cap commodity stocks? Do you think at these levels commodity stocks are offering some degree of value?
I think commodities has to be segregated again, like look at say companies like Coal India. I think the performance is excellent. The metal, I think globally you are seeing some kind of correction in metal stocks. So I think that's, I would say, very difficult to gauge about those kind of movements, what's going to happen in the short term. If you look at cement, I think the numbers, quarterly numbers have been better than what we all expected. So I think sector to sector, we have to really see from that perspective.